Hey everybody, this is Dave with Floorball Guru, and welcome to Floorball Guru TV. Today we're going to be kind of mixing it up a little bit, but talking about, I think, some important topics as we start to transition back into getting out and about and kind of working through some of our situations as far as not being able to play, not being able to interact and program and do a lot of things we want to do. So what I wanted to do was talk about my thought process for going forward, what I'm planning to do. I've spent a lot of time looking at the guidance and the guidelines for COVID and how can we come back in youth sports and facilities and things like that. In my day job, I run a recreation facility, so I've spent a lot of time thinking about how we're going to operate, how we're going to be able to do so safely, what's it going to look like, all that other stuff, as well as doing a lot of research looking at how can we bring back youth sports, youth programming, things like that. I do a lot of different things throughout the year. I teach my own classes. I run a league. We do camps. We do demos. We do programs. We do a lot of different things. That's the core of what we do in our community. And this summer, the plan again was again working on our summer camps and starting to prepare for that. We've been doing that since January, and then all of this stuff happened. We had to throw everything out the window. And in that time frame, we are now at a point, at least in Washington State, where we can start to look at being prepared to open in the next couple weeks. And there's a lot of challenges of how that's going to look, how that's going to feel. Again, across the U.S., there's a lot of different things that are happening. Everyone's sort of in a different zone or mindset. Some are a little bit further, some are a little bit behind. It just is kind of all over the place. But it doesn't mean we can't look at how to program sports, youth activities, events, things like that. And I think it's vital to be at least aware of what's going on and prepare and then communicate that accordingly. So, a couple things that I'm doing as we basically reevaluate our summer programs is we're throwing our summer camp out the window. We're not doing all day programs. I don't think that it's sustainable, feasible, and frankly, I honestly don't think there's going to be enough overall interest at this time to make that work. So, and as well as the guidelines with the governor, and that's one of the things we're still waiting on is our guidelines is how we're going to operate. And for us, we're in phase two. We'll be moving into phase three. That will open up a lot of doors and we'll relax a couple different things, but we're still going to make sure that we're focused on safety, keeping kids as safe as we can, but still interacting, still having fun, and still trying to keep the core of what our goal is. So instead of doing all day summer camps, the thought that I have going forward is how can we adapt and make something that's going to be worthwhile and fun for everybody? So instead of an all day camp, we're going to go with our instructional format. Traditionally, my instructional format's anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes, depending on the age group. Now we're going to go just a straight hour and a half. We're going to break that into age groups as young as 7 up to 15. And we're going to basically stack them hour and a half right after the other with some downtime. And then instead of being inside, we're going to shift outside. And we've already coordinated with our local Parks and Rec to set aside space in one of the tennis courts. There's a couple different reasons I wanted to do that. Number one, being outside and the transmission rates within COVID specifically being a little bit easier specific to outside. You've got fresh air, you've got movement, you've got sun, all things that are really important. The other key is in relation to the park that we're going to go at is in direct relation to bathrooms. So not only do we have bathrooms, we've got consistent hand washing, soap, all that other stuff that's already being provided by the city. And then we're going to have and provide hand sanitizer on site. Some of the other changes that we're going to do from our traditional programs include requiring every kid to have their own stick. I'm not 100% sure yet if we require their own ball. And also looking at what equipment we would provide and some of that other stuff. But that framework as it sits, I think will give enough interest in people that are looking to get their kids back into doing activities. They're looking for something a little more consistent in their life, but maybe not ready to just jump in full bore and go right back to the way things were. Again, I also think that other people are struggling with trying to figure out how to adapt and change to this, that they're not going to be able to move as quickly as we might be able to. And I think that speaks to the ability to plan. And I really encourage you to do that now. If you are interested in trying to figure out how you could start up those programs, now's a great time to start having that conversation if you haven't already. Now, with our traditional class model, I can do anywhere from 20 up to 25 kids in a class. We're going to shift that down to a minimum of 6 kids and a maximum of 10 kids. And then traditionally with my class programs, we charge anywhere from $40 to $50 for a regular class. For this extended class, we're going to bump that to $75. There's a number of reasons for that, but I think that that's a good solid number based on previous history, how we currently operate, and then also looking at other competitors in different sports and things that are out there. And then we're going to run every day. So Monday through Friday, that's the program. So if you're in an age group that's say 7 to 9, you're going to meet at 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Monday through Friday for that week. And then we're going to stack that for 8 weeks. And that part's a little ambitious. I'm a little interested to see what the overall response will be. But I think when we look at how can we, as a business and as a program, structure something that will be attainable, I think having a minimum of 6 kids per class and a maximum of 10 kids per class over 4 age groups gives us that ability to be attainable for the long term. The hope is, because we're at a new opportunity and we're trying to figure out that price point, we're trying to figure out that programming that's going to be adaptable to what the new guidelines are and maybe what people might be looking for. I'm hoping we're going to be able to attract some different kids into the program that already would have been gobbled up in sports that are year round or are doing some of that other stuff. And that again speaks back into the notion of planning and preparing and being ready for that. Now, if you're working to do anything in general, one of the things you're going to have to do is a return to play document. At least I'm assuming the majority of states are going to require that if you're looking to open up your business in general, and sports are no different from that. So having a plan of how you're going to react and act and all this other stuff related to the people that are running your programs, the students, coordinating and communicating with parents. What are the expectations? What's provided? What are you doing? All that other stuff is really important. And having that written down, I'm seeing that as going to be the guidelines going forward to have that. So if you have the time, sit down, take the time to do that. Think about how you're going to process through all those different things. Because again, number one, as we get back, is safety. We have to adapt, and we're going to be doing that. A lot of our programs are going to be more individualized, but we're all together. We're going to change up a lot of the activities that we do, but the goal is every kid's already got a stick, every kid's got a ball, they're moving at their own pace, they're learning, they're engaging, they're having fun, and hopefully they're just enjoying what they're doing, and floorball is part of that. So I want to encourage you that if you're thinking about doing that stuff, do that planning now. Think outside the box as much as possible, because that's what's going to make this time frame really become more successful for anybody in the long term. But I want you to be aware, be planning. This can be done. It can be done safely. I personally feel confident about that, and that's why I'm moving forward in my programs. The question is, as we move forward into July and August, will that actually carry through? And right now, I don't know. But it doesn't mean we can't try. And I think having that structure now potentially sets us up for the future, even though we don't know what those guidelines are as we go back inside and things like that. So I'm really excited for a new challenge, new opportunities. I know my parents that are in my programs are definitely excited to get back to doing something, and I can't wait to see the kids and have fun with them and get outside and all that other stuff. So yeah, I'm just, it's gonna be a challenge for sure. It's definitely something that I'm stressed out about, and is making sure that those kids are safe. That's first and foremost. But I think we can do it, and I think we can have fun with it and build it up. So if you are interested in more information about floorball, make sure to check out my website, www.floorballguru.com. Go ahead and head over to our YouTube Instagram, Facebook, and even our Twitter, and drop us a like and engage in the conversation. And more importantly, keep floorballing.